There's no shortage of powerful women in Capcom's history, but today we celebrate a leading lady who's helped keep the world safe from zombie infection for over 15 years. In honor of Valentine's Day, let's take a trip through Resident Evil history and see what made Jill Valentine the woman she is today.
Resident Evil.
It all begins in the summer of 1998. Jill Valentine, a former Delta Force explosives expert, joins the Raccoon City STARS team to investigate a series of nasty deaths in the Arklay Mountains. As we all know by now, this seemingly simple rescue mission turned into a night she and the rest of her STARS team would never forget. After a pack of zombie dogs mauls one of her teammates, Jill, along with partners Chris Redfield, Barry Burton, and Albert Wesker, is forced to enter the ominous Spencer estate.
What a mansion!
Once inside, they split up in an attempt to find a safe way back to Raccoon City. It's not long before they realize this is no ordinary mansion. With zombies inside and death dogs outside, Jill's only option is to survive with what little equipment she has and try to radio STARS pilot Brad for a helicopter pickup. To aid her in this quest, Barry provides her and Resident Evil fans with one of the best quotes of all time.
Jill, here's a lockpick. It might be handy if you, the master of unlocking, take it with you.
After solving dozens of deadly puzzles and battling all kinds of mutated monsters, including Yawn, one of the coolest video game snakes around, Jill eventually discovers the Spencer Mansion is part of a highly illegal Umbrella facility where all manner of horrific experiments are taking place. And worst of all, Albert Wesker, her team leader, is a double agent working for Umbrella.
So cruel.
Well, you don't have to worry about anything, because you'll be free from this world very soon, Jill.
Wesker allows the menacing tyrant BOW to attack Jill and Barry, and both of them barely manage to pull through. After reuniting with Chris, the trio radios for help, escapes before the mansion self-destructs, and heads home to tell the world what Umbrella has done. But with no concrete evidence of Umbrella's actions and some S-rank cover-up tactics by Umbrella itself, Jill and her STARS team are unable to bring the company to justice.
Resident Evil 3.
This is Chopper Delta, preparing to drop off at area E95070.
Mere weeks later, the T-Virus makes its way out of the Arklay Mountains and into Raccoon City. This leads to a full-blown infestation of creatures which tear the town apart and cause no shortage of despair for rookie cop Leon Kennedy and Chris's sister Claire.
Wait! Don't shoot!
Get down!
But while they fight for their lives, Jill is also trapped in Raccoon City and now has to contend with a much bigger problem.
He's after STARS members. There's no escape.
Not long after hitting those infested streets, Jill bumps into the towering Nemesis, who kills her old partner Brad, then proceeds to mercilessly track her for the rest of the game. This single-minded intent is best represented by his popular catchphrase. Later on, Jill encounters Carlos Oliveira, a member of Umbrella's own Special Forces team sent in to manage the chaos. However, as Carlos realizes the extent of Umbrella's wrongdoing, he ends up helping Jill escape the nightmare and get to St. Michael's Clock Tower, where a helicopter should be able to retrieve both of them. But true to his name, Nemesis stops that plan dead in its tracks.
Down here!
It's finally over.
Huh? No!
Jill survives the encounter, but ends up infected with the deadly T-Virus and seemingly next in line to become a BOW. Carlos does manage to find a vaccine, but before he makes it back to Jill, Nemesis returns in a new form and madder than ever. Carlos evades the beast, revives Jill, and the two continue their journey out of Raccoon City. Just when it looks like things are starting to go their way, a new wrinkle unfolds. The U.S. government has ordered Raccoon City's destruction, and there are already missiles on the way.
The city's about to become ground zero. Hurry up!
But against all odds, Jill and Carlos get out of Dodge thanks to none other than old Barry Burton.
You saved us.
I couldn't let you die.
Is it you?
Are you ready to finish this?
It's coming!
Yeah. It's the end. Resident Evil, The Umbrella Chronicles.
About 5 years later, Jill, Chris, and a team of anti-BOW soldiers storm Umbrella's final stronghold in the hopes of shutting it down for good. When they arrive, it's not long before they discover the rumors of a newer, even more destructive creature were true.
The latest in the Umbrella's product line. Codename Talos. A pinnacle of biological weaponry, all controlled by the Red Queen computer. The ultimate weapon.
Naturally, Talos has more than one mutation up its sleeve, but at this point Jill and Chris are pretty capable soldiers and put Talos out of commission. Unfortunately, their old foe Albert Wesker used this time to steal data from Umbrella's computers, then used that information to tip off the government and finally put Umbrella down. How fitting that Umbrella was undone by its own double agent.
Resident Evil Revelations.
My name is Jill Valentine. I serve the BSAA as a counter-bioterror operative.
These recurring virus outbreaks led to the creation of the BSAA, Bioterrorism Security Assessment Alliance. Its first major action took place during the Terra Grigia panic in 2004, after a group called Il Veltro unleashed creatures on the floating city of Terra Grigia. The city is basically lasered from space, leaving a nasty black eye on the world and revealing, in no uncertain terms, bioterror to the world. 1 year later, both Jill and Chris get caught up in another attack by Il Veltro, this time aboard the Queen Zenobia cruise ship. Now this starts spoiling Resident Evil Revelations, which is about to hit console, so to avoid spoiling the story for those who missed out on the 3DS version, we'll just jump ahead a bit.
It's time you learned the truth, Miss Valentine. Resident Evil 5.
After years in search of their foe, Jill and Chris find the now superhuman Wesker standing over the body of Umbrella's founder, Oswell Spencer. They engage but are quickly outmatched, and just when it looks like Chris's number is up, Jill hurls herself at Wesker, tumbles over a cliff, and, near as Chris can tell, dies in the process. Jill is proclaimed dead in November 2006.
Jill!
Years later, Chris discovers that, surprise, both Jill and Wesker survived the fall, but now Jill is under the control of Albert Wesker.
The one and only.
Turns out her body still had traces of that T-virus infection from 1998, which Wesker used to perfect his own Ouroboros virus. After an intense struggle, Chris and new partner Sheva managed to free Jill from Wesker's control and then set out for a final showdown. Jill, on the other hand, escapes with BSA member Josh Stone. Together, they help Sheva and Chris escape their battle with Wesker, but not before they slam 2 rockets down his throat and end his bloodthirsty quest for power.
Suck on this, Wesker.
Your time's up, you son of a bitch.
That brings us to the modern day, where Jill is presumably recovering from her traumatic abduction and brainwashing.
I couldn't control my actions, but God, I was still aware. Oh, forgive me.
And that about wraps up our love letter to Miss Valentine. For more, hit us up on Capcom Unity, subscribe to our YouTube channel, or come say hi to us at PAX or Comic-Con. See ya!